I converted this van into a fully off-grid, fully electric, gasless campervan with little to no experience for me to live in full time. I've been living in it for nearly a year. I had a budget of £7,000 and do you know what? I'm really proud of how it's turned out. I want to show you around. Welcome to this van tour. Firstly, we'll start with, it's a 2019 VW Crafter long wheelbase. Yes, it does say it's a 68 plate. This is January 2019 when it was actually registered. No fluff, straight into it. You can see the ladders are out. Let's go and check out the roof first. So you can see straight away on the side of the van, just here, we have got a Thule or Thule, however you want to pronounce it, a 4-meter awning. I got this from Vanz, and it's a recent addition, this is, because we used to have 525 watts of solar on the roof of this van. However, this wouldn't fit with those solar panels, so I kind of made a little mistake with that. You see, what happens is City Plumbing is a local shop and it's a plumbing shop. They do 430 watt solar panels, just one big panel that fit perfectly on the roof of these vans. So I thought, it's 80 quid for that panel, that's the one I'm going to get. I got my 3 175 watt Victron panels off the roof, decided I'd sell them for £80. That's the money for the new solar panel. I'm not losing out, win-win. However, that new solar panel wouldn't fit on the roof of this van, and that's because you can see just over there we've got a shower vent. The last panels used to sit above that. This new panel wouldn't fit there, so we've ended up with this one. It's 295 watts. You can see we've got quite a lot of space left over at the back. Now that's for future projects and things we've got going on. We're going to have Starlink up here and potentially enough room for another solar panel. We've got to see how much room the Starlink takes up. Over there you can see that dome, that's our Wi-Fi, and these little things sticking up just here and here, well, they're attachments, so I can attach solar panels onto them to be able to charge my CCTV cameras that are on the side of the van. Over the front of the van you've got the Max Fan Deluxe. That's pretty much the roof of the van. Obviously the Starlinks to go up there, we do have the Starlink, but we've got to just fiddle around with that to get it permanently flat mounted to the top. We'll get the ladders away and show you the outside because I'm proud of it. Every time I just look at the van I just smile. We'll start at the front, shall we? So if we come over this side, you can see we've got the Bravo snorkel this side. It's all plumbed in under the bonnet, goes straight into the airbox. It doesn't really add any horsepower, but it looks badass, so that means it's got loads of horsepower. Up here, we've got the aux beam ditch lights. Now, these ambers are just covers, so you can go just standard, or you can go straight on with the actual cover. They're from aux beam. I've always wanted them up there, and to be fair, I reckon they suit it really, really well. The brackets, they're from Williams. Over the front, you can see the matte black bonnet with the matte black piece just behind there. That's all done by Superior Wraps in Wigan. Again, they've got the black badge. It's a matte black badge with a gloss black rear. That come from, where did that come from actually? Van Style, and that was £15. You've got the 2 big 7-inch spotlights. Again, they're from aux beam. I've got amber covers for them as well, but I prefer them like that, I think. The bull bar, that was £650. That's insane, but it's the only bull bar that you can have in the UK compatible with a VW Crafter new shape that is actually safe for the UK roads. It's got its own crumple zone built into it. It comes with a full-on safety certificate. You can get them at T5 upgrades, £650 that is. We had it all de-chromed, so all the chrome on top of the lights, all the chrome on top of the grille. That was gloss black vinyl wrap, so no paint. If I want to change the colour, I can just peel it all off, nice and simple. They finish the whole front end off with a graphite limited edition dubbed out community dock sticker. Whew, I'm out of breath now, but you might have noticed a little bit of damage on the front. Just down this front corner, just here. You can see the little damage. It's pushed it in, it's bulked it up. It's just, it's made a bit of a mess there. That was caused by a suicidal deer down in Somerset. We were driving through the Quantox Hills at 2 o'clock in the morning, not going fast, just plodding around, and this big deer just ran out in front of us. And do you know what? I clipped it. Just poof, and it just got up, shook itself off, and off it went perfectly fine. About 3 days later, about 4 o'clock in the morning, I was coming the other way. I was working down there. Again, not racing, not just plodding around. It's pitch black, and this tiny little deer come running out in front of me and stove the whole front of the van in. And again, it just got up, shook itself off, little fat thing, and ran off. Again, we look at the side. So with the side, we've got a tinted window just there. Here's a little top tip for you if you are thinking of converting your own van. That glass window and the one on the other side, which is opening, come from a company called Trade Glass UK. They're the company that supply all the camper van companies, so you get it at a discount, which isn't really a discount. It's just normal bog standard, no camper van tax, window from Trade Glass UK. It's not sponsored, nothing like that. Nothing on this video is sponsored. That was just a little tip that I found out. Again, you got the 2-layer awning on the side, the CCTV camera up there. This part just here, the black, that is just gloss black vinyl wrap, just to make it look like a fake window. Over here, you've got a USB-C fully waterproof phone charger from a company called Scanstrut. You do that, and then up there, you've got all your chargers. Now, I got this for the sole purpose that I was up in the mountains a few years ago, and I come across a camper van that had one on the outside, and I thought, oh, I know what that is. And I plugged in, I managed to get some charge on my phone, look at the map and stuff like that. Nobody was around. So I thought, do you know what, that saved potentially my life. So I want to get one on my van. If anyone's ever stuck in the mountains or whatever, they come across my van, they see that, bang, they can plug in, get some phone battery, get their navigation back on track, and know where they're going. Just there, that's me water fill, because I have a 90-litre water tank inside and a 10-litre hot water boiler. You can see the black trim going over the wheel arch, one on the back, one on the front. They are just literally stick-on covers. They come from Vanz style. I think they were only about £80 for all four. Whereas if you go to Man directly, it's just a little trim just there, sticks out a little tiny bit, and it's at £120 per side. Down there, you've got a side step. Again, that comes from Van style, 200 and something odd pound. That's more of a styling cue for me, I think. I don't know if I'm going to keep it on there. It's only recently been added. I like the look of it. I like the usability of it. So it's possibly going to stay there. But like the rest of the van, I'm truly in love with. I'm not massively in love with that one. I keep getting like worried in case I'm going to bottom out the brackets, because the brackets do sit quite low underneath. And then this side is finished off with the absolutely amazing 17-inch Rouge CC1 alloys with the all-terrain tyres. Now, most people hate on all-terrain tyres. I'm going to show this. This is one of the cheaper versions. It's called a converstion, and you can see the tread depth just there. This has done 65,000 miles. Now, if you have a look at the one on the back door, because we have one on the back door just there, you can see the difference. This is an unused tyre. You can see the massive tread, so it's about halfway down, and I've done 65,000 miles. In my eyes, that's truly insane, and I'm well chuffed with that. Back of the van, nothing to really write home about. It is the back of a van. We've got a spare wheel carrier just there from Williams. It's quite smart, to be fair. That bolts onto the actual door bracket, so you don't need to adjust anything inside the door hinges. Normally, with other wheel carriers, you need to chop out a piece of metal in the middle of them. You don't on this one. We've got the spare wheel on the back. We've got a reversing camera just underneath there on the number plate. Again, they're not glass windows. That is just gloss black vinyl wrap to make it look like windows. A couple of stickers, dubbed out community, dubbed out community. The mountains are calling. Superior wraps, because they're the ones that done the wrap. I've got my tag just up there, so if you're new around here, please subscribe. Van style sticker and that one. And if you look on this side, it's pretty much absolutely identical. Should we go inside now? Now, the first thing you'll notice with the inside of this van is it's not tidy at all. Now, it's clean, it's tidy, but it's not showroom condition like you see on most of the videos. That's because that's not my style. I show you how it is. People are always looking into van life, going, oh, I'd love to do that, all the travel. This channel is realistic in what it actually is like. So drop a subscribe if you like that idea, but let's show you around. Then I'll get into the back and show you all the electrics, the plumbing, the water. That's all in the garage. I'll show you the embarrassing bit first, okay? That's the front of the van. Now you'll see there's a shirt stood up there, some trousers, a coat, a hoodie. It's work time soon, so that's all ready for work. That's the front of the van with the middle seat folded down, because it's folded down. That is a double seat, and that does swivel on the R&J swivel seat base. When it's just me in the van, I don't need to swivel it, but when I've either got my son, my partner, her kids, I always swivel them around. It's extra seating, and you'll find that in this van there's a lot of seating. It's the trendline version of this van, so you've got the big infotainment system just there. You can have your sat nav on there, you can play games while you're stationary. 6-speed manual gearbox. I wanted the trendline because it's got cruise control, it's got air conditioning, it's got everything that I need. I like my gadgets. Above just there, you'll see that unit just there, this one all the way along there, the shower unit, the double bed, the full kitchen area just down here. That is all from a company called Vanz Adventures. You see, the first life of this van, I built it as a budget van build. It cost me £900 using free wood that I got from IKEA, cheap stuff from Facebook Marketplace, even the Max Fan Deluxe. That was completely free off Facebook Marketplace. Somebody had bought it for their motorhome, realised they got the wrong size, and just said, do you want it? Thank you very much. You can do these on a budget of next to nothing, or you can spend, like I have, £7,000 to £8,000. Here's a little thing.
I originally budgeted 5,000 to do this, and it just cost me a little bit more because every time I saw something, oh yeah, I'll work a bit harder, I'll get that. And that goes fully into this kitchen unit and all the wood that you see throughout this van. It's lightweight ply. Your normal 8x4 sheet of plywood, well, that can cost you like £40. This stuff, a standard 8x4 sheet, is closer to £200, and that's because it's a little bit more durable, but it's got a little bit of flex in it, which is great for inside a moving vehicle, but it's extremely lightweight. A long wheelbase van has the exact same weight restrictions as a medium wheelbase van. Because this is bigger, it's going to be heavier to start off with, so you have to keep everything lightweight inside. That's why I've done this. So we'll start on the kitchen pod then. We have got a side pull-up table just there, absolutely perfect. It's got a marble effect worktop on it. Now again, this is fully gasless, so we've got an induction hob just there, which we use literally every single day, and we'll run into the electrics when we go into the garage and show you all that sort of stuff. Over here, nice small square little deep dish sink with a tap that you can pull out. Now again, you can pull it out. I absolutely love this sink. Again, I use it literally every day. Over here, chopping board, Highland Couriers. Now this is just something that we got, well, I got it from John O'Groats not long ago, and I have absolutely no idea where to put it in this van. I'm thinking maybe on that wall just there, maybe. Home is where you park it, and this is B&M Specials £10 stick-on tiles, and they work absolutely perfect. We're trying to make it look a little bit more homely rather than showroomy, which is the feel that I get from it. So we added these little IKEA plants with the IKEA rack just there. Again, further down this way, you've got the rest of the kitchen. So that's the controls for the induction hob. That's our 240 sockets for when we do plug in our air fryer, which we have just down there. Over these ones, we've got our cutlery drawer with literally everything. Soft closed drawers. Oh yes, yes. Oh, over here we all have a tack cupboard. That's my cupboard just there. It's got like an emergency backup gas stove in case I ever need it. We've got food in there, more food, and sort of first aid kit and cooking apparatus just in there. And down here, the tins and the jars and stuff like that. Oh yeah, we built a little control panel just above our fridge freezer. Over here we've got the Renogy shunt, tells us how full our batteries are. That's our on-off switch for our inverter so that we can get 240 electrics. That's all the controls we need for our hot water, our boiler basically. In here we've got our fridge. It's a fridge freezer, 90 litres capacity altogether. You can see we've got the fridge there, the freezer up in the top there. Just a bog standard fridge freezer run on 12-volt compressor. Everyone's always interested in what it's called. That's it, it's an adventurer. It was essentially, we went down to Jackson's Leisure in Birkenhead in the northwest. We saw it and went, yeah, that'll do. We didn't go searching for reviews and stuff. It was just, that was there at the time, at the right price, boom. You've probably already noticed the absolutely amazing headliner that we've got here. This is called embossed suede, and it's absolutely amazing. Now, I've had it up there for around about, I'd say, a year, and it's absolutely perfect. Comes from a company called RC Fabrics. Again, not sponsored. Nothing in this video is sponsored. It's just absolutely amazing. But the challenge we had with that is I wanted to buy the original ply to put up on the ceiling. But the problem is you have gaps of about 5 centimeters where you can strap over the front of the actual panels to hold them up into place that little bit extra secure. I didn't want that because people that have used this type of ceiling before, where it's a uniform pattern, it goes along and then it dips down and round, or it goes on and then there's a fresh piece underneath. It just didn't look completely uniform the whole way down. So the way I did this was in 5 panels, because this roof is wider than 4 foot, so you can't just get a 8x4 sheet of ply and whack it up there. So I've done it over 2 different rafters, but over the rafters I did it 50-50. So part of the panel goes over it and then the next panel goes over it as well, so it's a completely uniform piece of wood basically the whole way through. We drew a centre line down the whole way of the actual plywood, and then got this ceiling and drew a centre line on the inside fabric, because it's all cushioned fabric, a centre line all the way down, and basically spray foamed that centre line the whole way down to keep it nice and straight. The whole joined the centre line up from the material to the ceiling, and then just worked our way outwards. That was a tip from Lee down at Vanz Adventures, the man who done all the furniture for inside this van. So I say I built the van, I didn't build this furniture. I have not got the craftsmanship skills or the equipment to even come up with anything as good as this. You'll see that if you watch my last £900 build video on this. That's completely different. I'll leave that video linked in the description down below. Let's talk about the overhead lockers. We've got 2 overhead lockers there, and one overhead locker just here. They're all exactly the same. We've got the gloss white on the outside with the slate grey underneath with these lights. You can see the lights on underneath there. They're on little dimmer switches. Let me show you. Can you see that little button just there? Press it once and the light comes on. Press and hold it and the light slowly dims down. If you just press it again, it goes off. But when you next press it again, it comes back on as that slightly dimmer light. You can press and hold it again and it'll just brighten up. The reason I went for that is just because I wanted it to end there, so that this is the wiring harness cover with an LED light in it, can just go up there nicely. It just looks a lot more smoother. It's a bit more open plan. It's not all enclosed in. I find the people that have got a double seat just there, it just feels a bit enclosed and a bit tight sort of thing. That's the reason I went for the smaller shower unit. This is 750 by 750. This shower door is just called Roll Door. It's from that company just there. Well, it's not even that company. Roll Door is also the same company that do these fly nets for the sliding door, Van Door. You can follow them on Instagram. That's where I found them all out. We have got the shower fan up here, so press that and then you can lift it up, and there's also a button in there to turn the actual fan on to extract everything from inside when you are having a shower. It's absolutely perfect. Over here we stuck some little hooks, just suction cup hooks, just to hold up any wet clothes, because inside this one we've also got a heater vent. Now that heater vent is hooked up to our diesel heater, which is underneath the bench seat, which I'll go through in a minute. So we've got a heater vent that comes into the main cabin and one that goes into the shower room. That's because in the winter I live in this all the time. I'm gonna get wet clothes when I'm out hiking in the mountains. I just hook my clothes up in there, turn the heating on, and it drives them out dead quick. Also in there we've got a little container there and a couple more just there. They're just IKEA suction cup, holds them on sort of thing. We've got a standard household mixer shower. That's all that is just a household mixer shower, and it's absolutely amazing. Toilet, we went for a composting toilet by Trolino, and that's so that when I want to have a shower I can easily just get that toilet out and I've got more space in there. If I went for a fixed one or a chemical one, it's always going to be in there while I'm trying to have a shower. Keeping that shower cubicle nice and small meant having a chemical toilet just wasn't really that feasible. Now down here is a 3-berth camper van, so this is a single bed, but I call it a 2.5 berth camper van because this is only a small person's bed. My son sleeps on this. When my partner and her son are with us, he sleeps on this, but most of the time I'm on my own. So this is just a seating area just as it is, but inside the seating area is so much storage, it's unbelievable. Just down here you can see one heater vent coming out just there. You can swivel it and do whatever. I just tend to leave it like that because normally I've got the heating on when I'm in bed, so it just fires it that way a little bit. Underneath you've got a couple of little cupboards, just one there and one just here. Inside there you've also got the heating and a portable power station. There's my heating controls, but to be fair that just stays under there because it's all done on remote control. That's my portable power station. Now in my wisdom, this camper van is again fully electric, so I wanted to have a little bit of a backup, so that's what I use that for. It's mainly a backup. However, it's become a lot more useful. You see, now I'm running things like Starlink and a laptop to do my editing. I just tend to sit just on this bed just here with my little lagoon table, which I'll show you in a second, and plug everything straight into that, and then I can charge that up through either a portable solar panel, an in-car charger, or I can just plug it into the plug sockets at work and it'll charge perfectly fine. If I'm doing a long drive and my batteries are perfectly fully charged, I'll plug that in and charge it up through my leisure batteries on my 240 plugs just there, and then on the drive it's recharging the batteries anyway. It's called the Atom EES. It's the only UK certified solar generator in the whole of the UK, and it can run up to 2,200 watts of power, which is insane. I can run my air fryer off this if my batteries ever do go flat. I can run the induction hob, everything I need I can run off this. It's got a standard little cigarette lighter and it's got all the USBs down there, 4 plug sockets down there. I did get it and just think, do you know what, that's just going to be a backup just in case I need it. I met them at a Dubbed Out festival and it was amazing to talk to them because their passion for that sort of stuff was insane. This is the lagoon table I was on about. It literally just clips on just onto that pole just there, and then I've got a fully movable table, and this is great when I'm sat here working away on the laptop doing all what I need to do, or when I'm eating my dinner. I can have the swivel seats turned around and it could be put just over there. It's absolutely insane. I don't think I'm going to keep this tabletop. It was literally just a piece of wood that I found in my partner's house and I wrapped it in DC Fix, and do you know what, it's come in so handy, it's unbelievable. You need to have a fixed table to get a van conversion through the what's the change called on the DVLA? Your vehicle registration change. So at the minute, it's a panel van. I'm going to try in a future video and get it converted over to a motor caravan on the logbook. That way I can just go a little bit faster. I don't understand that. I haven't got a clue. But in a panel van on a dual carriageway, you can go 60 mile an hour maximum. In the exact same van as a motor caravan, you can go 70 mile an hour. It's just, I don't do that fast anyway, but it's going to free up a little bit of mind space. So I've got to drive. Do you know what I mean? Plus, you've got to have two windows on one side, and I've not got that. So I'm thinking of a way of hacking the DVLA system. Subscribe to see that. Now, like I said, I converted this over on a cheap budget build to start with. That's because I wanted to get in it as quick as possible. But also I could find out what I wanted to change. Now, you see a lot of people tend to do, oh, what would I change about my van now? I learned that straight away, and that's one of the benefits of learning it straight away. So if you look over the back of the van just here, you can see how it dents in. Well, that goes back to near enough the outside skin of the van. We've got 10mm Dodo mat insulation on it and then carpeted over the top, so it is insulated. This is the main beam that's there, and that extends the bed by 4 inches off each side. No, 2 inches on each side. So we've got a slightly longer bed, which fits me. And I'm 6'2". Until I go to the doctor's and he says I'm only 6 foot. Over where the couch is and the single bed, you've got an opening window. Now, the main reason for that, which wasn't installed for that reason, but the main reason now is it's tinted glass. So when I've got my thermal blinds up over my window, because I've got the Voyager Adventure van thermal blinds, and they just clip onto the windows with magnets, just suck on, suck on, suck on, done. It gets quite dark inside with that window being tinted and that one being tinted. So it's nice to be able to just open the window and see how different it actually is through the glass to outside the glass. The cushion on the bed is simply just, I went to the budget section at IKEA and there was a mattress there for £5. I thought, that'll do perfectly. Chopped it up to the right size, stuck a Sheen extendable cover on it, done. Van conversions don't need to be hard or technical. Have I missed anything inside here that could potentially help you guys before we move on to the electrics? Right, the B-pillar covers. These actual B-pillar covers here, all I did was put, once I'd removed the bulkhead, you're left with a bit of a gap here. So I just boarded it up and essentially just wrapped it in cushioned suede, again from RC Fabrics, but it's the same colour that matches the ceiling. So it just flows in really nicely all the way around. Shout out to all the proper OGs that have been here since my very first van, which is the tiny Ford Transit Connect. Do you remember this dude? I've still got him and I still don't know where to put him. I got him off eBay. I mean, look at his hand. It's a bit broken, but he just sat on the roof rack while I was driving along. It's quite funny watching him going, ah. God, I've done that much to this van. I'm so proud of myself. Oh, the flooring. It's called Outro flooring. Now I figured because I like going out hiking in the mountains and parking on like gravelly park up areas, I'm gonna damage the flooring in and out. It's one thing I noticed in my first build when I just put lino down. I damaged it really, really quickly. So I wanted heavy, durable flooring. This is the same flooring you get in hospitals, but that also widened my mind up to, in hospitals, they use that same flooring in the shower areas for their wet rooms. So that's what I did. See what I mean? They're both exactly the same. Now the flooring there, I didn't just put a flat piece of wood down. I put it down on a slight angle, propped it all up underneath and everything, and then floored the flooring over it with some side pieces just to make sure it was extra watertight, covered it in proper sealants and stuff, and that runs straight down into the drain that goes under the van, straight down into the wastewater tank that's underneath the van. I just used a Fiamma 70 litre fresh water tank as my wastewater tank because it's got 2 different inlets going into the actual wastewater tank. One goes from my sink, one goes from a shower straight into it. Never had a problem with it. Let's go check out the electrics in the garage. Now I'd lie if I said I wasn't looking forward to doing this one, because quite frankly it's amazing how much stuff you can actually fit in the back of one of these underneath that bed. Now my bed is attached to the side struts of the actual bodywork, so it's quite a high bed, and it's amazing just how much crap you can fit in and how quickly that fills up. Let me get all this out and then show you my electrics and my plumbing system. Jesus Christ, I never knew I had so much crap. Oh, so take this as your tip. If you have got a camper van, a bit more regular than you think, check your electrics, because I've just found a big problem. I found an easier way of showing you the electrics. I've got my little action camera. So we're going to go through the electrics now. Now you'll have a look straight away just here. We have got the 200 amp hour lithium ion batteries. They're from a company called Ally Time. You can already see the problem that I've got. Both the positive and the negative terminals are exposed. They did used to have little caps on just like that, but no, they're fully exposed just there, so I need to get that sorted just there. We'll start on the charging side of these batteries first. So we've got the solar panel up on the roof, which comes straight into that just there. That's the MPPT solar charge control unit. So the solar panels come into that, from that into one of these isolation switches. That one there is the solar. From there into the positive and negative buzz bars, which are just there, and then into the batteries. That way we can just completely isolate the solar system if we need to work on it. You've got the DC to DC charger, which is that one just there. That's the 30 amp. I am upgrading it to a 50 amp or to 30 amps. Not 100% sure just yet. Anyway, from there again into this switch just here. From this into the positive and negative buzz bars, straight into the batteries. So that's two ways of charging. If I ever am on electric hookup, which I never really am, we've got the Blue Smart Charger, again 30 amp. So when we are on electric hookup, we just plug that in. That's connected directly to the batteries and the buzz bars, and that'll charge them up through electric hookup too. So that's three ways of charging those batteries just there. But what about the discharge side of things? Let's run over that. Coming out of there, we've got a cable that runs up to this big mesh just up here. That's our fuse box, and that's got all the 12 volt everything running on it. We've got this little piece of card just here which tells us what fuses go for what and all that sort of stuff, but that's our general 12 volts. Coming off them as well, we go straight through to the big 3000 watt inverter. From that Renogy inverter, it runs directly through to our plug sockets and our induction hob. The plumbing side of things is all down the back just there. We've got a 90 litre fresh water tank. Underneath is a 70 litre wastewater tank. That's for all our wastewater that we do use. Every time to be fair, I'm a coach driver, so every time I go to work, I just pull over the actual toilet drop area and just drop it all off there. I'm quite handy and quite lucky in that respect. We've got a 10 litre Bobble Vanz 12 volt 240 volt water heater. Now, admittedly, I've not set up the 240 volt. I've only ever used it on 12 volt. And what do I think of it? Everybody asks what I think of it because it's a lot cheaper. It's like 6 times cheaper than a Truma. It's 6 times cheaper, and you're going to get 6 times less of the quality. That's all I'm going to say. It takes nearly 2 hours to heat up your hot water to 75 degrees, so I can use it on my mixer shower really nicely and comfortably. And when I do use it on that shower, being quite a powerful shower, it drains that 10 litre tank in a matter of 7 minutes. We have got some problems with the electrics. Not so much problems, it's all nice, it's all safe, it's all fused, but there's a lot of changes that I want to make to that. That's coming up in the next video where we discuss all the problems that we actually do have with this camper van. So make sure you subscribe for that. But look at what else you can fit inside the actual garage of this van. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Over this side, you've got our e-bike, a foldable e-bike just there. You can see the fresh water tank down the back all the way over there. This little container is just full of loads of stuff that we might need. We've got a litter picker, because I do like to pick litter from the places that I go. Underbody neon glow things. Basically, it was a toy that I decided, you know what, let's play it. In that little box just underneath that cardboard area, that's got our hiking bits and bobs. We've got a chair. There's stuff that we tend to not use too much in the winter. That's chucked down the back just over there. We've got awning storm straps. This box is the Starlink. We've got night vision goggles up there because we like to have a play with them at night time. And then we've also got this bunch of tat that I've already pulled out. So we've got the ladders, the toolbox, a box, a freshwater tank just in case I need it, and the e-scooter. And that all fits under there with our leveling ramps that are down in that corner just there, and our full plumbing area at the back with the electrics all down that one side. That finishes off perfectly fine with, at the top there, we've got the router for our Wi-Fi, which is the 5G 4x4 Wi-Fi. It's the one on the dome. It runs on an EE SIM card, and we've got the embossed suede on the actual doors all the way around. But yeah, we've got a few problems in there which we're going to start fixing sooner rather than later. Oh, you'll notice we said the Blue Smart Charger goes into the electric hookup, but you never actually saw an electric hookup on the outside. We don't even have one hidden. That's something else we've got to change. What we've got is, have you seen those camping electric hookups where it plugs into the electric hookup, but it's 4 plugs with a little trip box? That's all we use. That was 30 quid. You could pick them up on Facebook Marketplace for 20 quid. I've got that, plug it into an electric hookup, chuck that into the back. I plug in the Renogy, because the Renogy's got a UPS function on it, so it bypasses all the... If you're plugged onto electric hookup, it doesn't drain the batteries if you're using anything inside the van, if you've got that plugged in. So I plugged that in, I plugged the Blue Smart Charger in, I could plug the water heater into it and stuff like that. That's all I use at the minute, but I will be changing that. But that sort of thing all takes money, And that's something that I don't quite have at the minute. So if you are new around here, I hope you've enjoyed the trip. Please like and subscribe if you are new around here. Hope you've enjoyed that realistic look at a self-built camper van. I'm proud of it. I hope you guys like it too.